We all believe we know the person we marry, right? You build a life together, brick by brick, laugh by laugh. For 12 years, that's what I thought I had with Sarah. 12 years of shared dreams, inside jokes, and a comfortable rhythm that felt like forever. I trusted her completely without a second thought. She was my rock, my everything. But sometimes, the foundations we build our lives on are nothing but sand, waiting for one single wave to wash it all away. For me, that wave came in the form of a simple, glowing notification on her phone, a message that wasn't meant for my eyes, a message that would detonate everything I held dear and reveal a truth I never could have imagined. It was a Tuesday, just an ordinary, forgettable Tuesday. I was home from work a little early, feeling a bit under the weather. Sarah was out with her friends, or so I thought. Her phone, left charging on the kitchen counter, buzzed. Usually, I'd ignore it. Her privacy was hers, but this time, something made me glance over. Maybe it was the way the screen lit up the darkening room, or maybe it was a flicker of intuition, a tiny alarm bell ringing in the deepest part of my mind. The name on the screen wasn't one of her usual friends. It was just a single initial, J. The preview of the message was short, but it was enough to make the air leave my lungs. Can't stop thinking about last night. You were incredible. My heart hammered against my ribs. It felt like I'd been plunged into ice-cold water. Last night? Last night she'd told me she was working late on a big project. I reread the words, hoping my tired eyes were deceiving me. Incredible. The word echoed in my head, mocking me. Who was Jay? And what happened last night? My mind raced, trying to connect dots that weren't there, trying to find any other explanation, any reason this could be a misunderstanding. A work thing? A joke? But the tone felt too intimate, too real. The trust I'd placed in her for over a decade began to crumble in that single moment. It was a terrifying feeling, like watching your own home collapse in slow motion. I knew, right then and there, that my life had just been split into two parts. The life before I saw that message, and whatever was about to come after. I should have confronted her the moment she walked through the door. I should have held up the phone and demanded an explanation. But I couldn't. I was paralyzed by a mix of fear and disbelief. When she came home, smiling and asking about my day, I played along. I felt like an actor in a terrible play. Every "I love you," every casual touch felt like a lie. The man who woke up that morning, happy and secure in his marriage, was gone. In his place was a stranger, a man filled with suspicion and a gnawing emptiness. I started watching her more closely. Her phone, which used to be left around carelessly, was now always with her, screen down. She'd smile at texts and quickly put it away if I walked into the room. The late nights at work became more frequent, the excuses more elaborate. The woman I loved was becoming a stranger right before my eyes. The next few weeks were a special kind of torment. I was living with a ghost. The physical form of my wife was there, but the person I knew, the one I shared my soul with, was gone. I became a detective in my own home, searching for clues, for any piece of evidence that could either confirm my fears or, hopefully, prove them wrong. I'd check her browser history, look through credit card statements, anything to piece together this secret life she was leading. I felt ashamed of my own actions, of the person this suspicion was turning me into. But the need to know the truth was all-consuming. It was a poison, seeping into every corner of my life. Sleep offered no escape. My dreams were haunted by faceless men and whispered secrets. I was losing weight. My work was suffering, and the light in my life had been completely extinguished. I was trapped in a silent nightmare, and I knew I couldn't live like this for much longer. The truth, no matter how painful, had to be better than this suffocating uncertainty. The breaking point came on our anniversary, our 13th anniversary. I had planned a special evening, clinging to a desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, we could find our way back. I booked a table at the restaurant where we had our first date, a place filled with happy memories. I thought it might remind her of what we had, of the promises we made. She seemed happy. She dressed up. She smiled. For a few hours, I let myself believe. We talked about old times, laughed at shared memories. It almost felt normal. Then, during dinner, her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and the briefest flicker of a smile touched her lips before she quickly put it away. It was him. I knew it was him. In that moment, all the hope I'd built up evaporated. The charade was over. I couldn't do it anymore. "Who is Jay?" I asked. The question hung in the air between us, heavy and cold. The color drained from her face. The fake smile vanished, replaced by a look of pure panic. She tried to deny it, of course. "What are you talking about? It's just a colleague." But her eyes couldn't meet mine. The lies crumbled under the weight of my quiet, steady gaze. I told her I'd seen the message. I told her I'd known for weeks. And then, it all came pouring out. The truth was worse than I could have imagined. Jay was James, a man she'd met at a work conference 6 months ago. It wasn't a one-time mistake. It was an ongoing affair. 6 months of lies. 6 months of betrayal while I was at home, trusting her, loving her. Every "I'm working late," every girl's night out, it was all a lie. She'd been living a double life. The drive home was silent. The air was thick with unspoken words and shattered dreams. I felt nothing, just a profound, hollow emptiness. The anger and the pain were so immense they had become a strange sort of numbness. Back at our house, our home, she cried and begged for forgiveness. She said it was a mistake, that she loved me, that she didn't want to lose me. But her words were meaningless. How can you love someone while you systematically deceive them every single day? How can you look them in the eye, say, "I love you," and then go into the arms of another? Trust isn't like a broken plate you can glue back together. Once it's shattered into a million pieces, it's gone forever. You can try to reassemble it, but the cracks will always be there, a constant reminder of the betrayal. That night, I packed a bag. I couldn't stay in that house, a place that was no longer a home but a stage for her lies. Every corner held a memory that was now tainted. Walking out that door was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was walking away from 12 years of my life, from the future I thought we were building. The weeks that followed were a blur of lawyers, paperwork, and heartbreaking conversations. Dividing our lives was like tearing a photograph in half. But with every step I took away from her, I felt a tiny piece of myself returning. The fog of her deception began to lift, and for the first time in months, I could breathe again. It was a painful, agonizing process, but it was also a cleansing one. It's been over a year now. The divorce is final. Rebuilding my life from the ground up has been a challenge, but it has also been an incredible journey of self-discovery. I learned that I am stronger than I ever thought possible. I learned that my happiness doesn't depend on another person. And I learned that while trust can be broken, the human spirit is resilient. The scar is still there, a reminder of the pain, but it no longer defines me. It's a part of my story, a chapter that taught me a brutal but valuable lesson. And now, a new chapter is beginning. It's unwritten, and for the first time in a long time, I'm excited to see what it holds. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you are not alone, and it does get better. Please consider liking and subscribing for more stories about overcoming life's greatest challenges.